Chapter 19. Not Many Words. Ted felt stupid. He had left the E&A market and pedaled out to the farm at top speed, not caring if anybody saw him. He had arrived out of breath, rushed into the house, looked up and down and all around. He had turned over every object in the living room, examined the whole attic, poked through each bedroom, scoured the backyard, and even went through the barn. Then he'd gone back into the house for another walkthrough, and he'd looked everywhere again. And all the while, Ted had tried to think like Alexa, had tried to imagine what plan might have popped into her frightened mind after the police left on Thursday night. At the end of the 33 minutes, what did the great young detective have to show for all the work he had done? Zilch. Zero. Zip. Ted had found nothing, discovered nothing, learned nothing. And after this desperate hunt for new clues, Ted had set an alarm of the reclining chair. Ted had sat on the arm of the reclining chair for almost 5 minutes, and he had made himself review everything he knew. And all of the facts had led right back to where he sat, looking around the cluttered front room in the Andersons' farmhouse. He felt like he had reached the end of the road. Ted stood up and walked slowly into the kitchen, defeated, headed for the basement stairs, headed for his bike out in the yard, headed for home. But when he had had his hand on the knob of the cellar door, he stopped and stared at the kitchen counter. And that's when Ted felt really stupid, because in all of his rushing about, he had missed an important clue, something he should have seen, something so easy to spot, actually to not spot, because something was missing. 2 days ago, the can opener he'd bought had been in the kitchen, lying right over there on the counter, and now it wasn't. And over by the sink, the empty water jug was almost gone. Ted stepped quickly to the counter, reached up, and pulled open the cabinet door. The Sterno cans, the instant coffee, the matches, the stew, the bread, soup, everything, gone. Ted stared at the red and white checked paper that lined the bottom shelf, and he began running through the possibilities. Could have been some bums came by and cleaned the place out. Could have been more high school kids sneaking in and stealing everything. Could have been... He stopped thinking. He almost stopped breathing. The faded paper had been covering that bottom shelf for many years. It was stuck down flat, but in one place, over the right side, it was puckered. In that one place, the paper had been peeled up and then pushed back down, and sticking out from under the front edge of the shelf liner, Ted saw a small piece of dark brown paper, just a corner. He got hold of the corner and pulled. It slid right out. A Snickers wrapper had been opened flat, and then carefully creased into a rectangle. The thin plastic crinkled as Ted unfolded it. Someone had written on the inside of the wrapper, with a blue ballpoint pen, in neat, round, flowing cursive. Not many words. The first few made a short sentence. We're close. The last word was the name of a month and a girl. April.